Okay, thank you, Ms. Glenn. We appreciate it.
All right, let's get to Tiffany. Let's go.
Now moving to, we have a challenge hearing scheduled. Last week, we voted to have a challenge hearing. I was advised last night that the person, the candidate, Ms. Henyard, contacted the department and said that she had not received adequate notice, that she had found out about it from seeing a TV program or something like that.
Girl,
It was
bye.
reported on the news, and that's when she was aware of it, and she would like to see if we could continue it.
No.
I think that if
No.
we did not send it in a manner in which that we alerted her, we did not call her, from what I understand, to tell her what the date was, but she
No.
received an email. But I know I'm in support of giving both procedural and substantive due process to a candidate. Plus the law, from what I understand from last
Let her sue. Let her
when we
sue.
had our hearing, it's subjective intent, and she was unable to be here on such late notice
What?
to present for herself, and we would need, I believe, the candidate for subjective intent. We also, from what I understand from our
Wow.
attorneys, we had suggested and said what things we wanted subpoenaed, but we have not gotten all of those. And so, Attorney Pashuta, can you speak to what we received and what we haven't received?
Super lame.
Yeah, so there are several other pieces outstanding that I had requested. We did receive the voting history from Illinois. That was one of the things we requested. We did receive a certified copy of that from the Cook County Clerk. So if you do postpone it, that would give me some time to be able to follow up on some of those other items that we did not receive. But
Lame.
I do think also that the candidate should be here, even just for due process purposes, and because part of that residency review is to weigh intent as well, and we would need to hear that from her.
Do we have the lease that we had asked for, either a certified copy?
No, I've not received that. That's one of the items that I need to follow up on.
Okay. Any other members? Member Crawford, then Member Evans.
What time frame do you need do you?
The election is on May 19th.
Get the information.
I would not want to put it out too far just because
Right.
of the election coming up. I mean, I can follow up tomorrow. I would at least, because some of these we also made via Open Records Act requests, and I have not heard back on those. But I would say mid to late next week. But I
You have a
also
motive.
want to have it as soon as possible, and I don't know if the candidate gave you any indication of when she might be available or not.
Her unavailability was noticed and having to leave work and finding out at the last minute and having and
Where
being
does she
able to
work?
be here and also arrange, I believe it was childcare or something like that as well.
She got a fourth grader. Stop it.
But Member Adams has a question as well.
Yes. I understood at our last meeting, whoa, that got a little loud. I understood at our last meeting that we had given her notice that we were discussing it at the last meeting. Is that correct?
No, we had told her that we would give her notice of the date because that's when we
I don't
scheduled
like
the
this one.
date, was the
No,
last meeting.
No, we were told that she was given notice of last week's meeting.
That's
So
what-
She wasn't to be there then.
she was told that we were discussing it, but we also told her we would follow up with a hearing date. That did not happen.
How do we know the
email did not
date?
go through.
I
so
knew the
we
date.
Do need to give her, we're required to give her 3-day notice of a hearing, and that did
That's
not
crazy.
occur. That's why we asked we told the chair that we would like for them to continue.
Okay.
That's crazy.
So I'm assuming from what you've said, she didn't listen to last week's meeting.
I would say she's not required to, where
Wow.
we are required to give her notice of a hearing. And
Okay.
that's what we did not do.
And we do have her phone number, email address, physical address. We have ways to communicate with her.
Yes, we do. And we
Okay.
did not send that hearing notice properly.
Wow.
Okay.
They really are trying to make this thing
You
happen.
know, I think she's had a lot of notice. She didn't give any indication on when she wanted this meeting?
It's not up to her to give the indications when she wanted the meeting. The reason why Director Williams is saying that she was not required to attend last week is because last week was when we were to set a hearing to tell her when to attend.
Right.
She wasn't required to be at our special called meeting. What she was told, I believe, and Director Williams, you can correct this, is that there was going to be a special called meeting where we would determine the date that she was
This is
to appear.
embarrassing.
Yes, that's correct.
And so we had that meeting, we let her know about it, and she wasn't interested enough to watch it. I know she's not required to be there.
We can't. speak
She's
for
not
her.
required to watch it.
And we can't presume to know what the candidate knew or did not know. So I want to be careful that we don't make aspersions about she didn't care or she didn't watch it, because we don't know. All we can go on is what we were told, and that was that she did not receive notice and found out from a TV program yesterday.
That's crazy work.
Okay. I think that we need to schedule a special meeting. So this will be the second special meeting for her. And
This
I
is
think
embarrassing.
that, there needs to be clarity at some point. This will be our third meeting about the same thing. And so I don't know if anyone has any proposed times to do it next week.
Member Selby.
Well, I agree with Member Adams, but I had a few more questions. The statement that we did not give proper notice, where is the process for notice set forth in the code? Is it?
So it's not in the section related to qualifications, but when you look at other sections of the election code, like when the board evaluates, there's a question about whether someone's a qualified elector, if there's a challenge to an elector. Those all discuss about 3 days written notice of the date, time, and place of hearing.
Okay.
So since this is also reviewing essentially residency and qualifications, I believe we should use those same requirements that are in those other sections of the code.
And so we did send an email, correct?
I'll defer to staff. on
Right.
that.
So again,
This
this person was qualified by the Republican Party. We were able to get the information for her contact information. We advised her. We reached out to her when the challenges came up about getting a lease and things of that nature. She did send that. But when when the board decided to schedule a hearing, the email that we sent did not go through. So therefore, we have to give her a proper hearing notice, and we did not send that. But again, we had her contact
Did not
information.
go
We reached
through.
out to her. She was very cooperative with the information that was sent. We just have to give her proper notice per code.
So that means we had the wrong email address? When you say didn't go through?
Right. I like this guy.
A typo. I'm not,
Okay.
yeah.
Understood.
So it was a
Understood.
technical
Got it.
problem, which
Okay.
that is not actual
Got
notice of it didn't go through.
Got it.
And I would suggest that we
Mm.
email, but also even do snail mail.
Yeah.
And just send it to the post office as well, so we can verify that we send it both ways.
And then what about the timing? We're coming up on the May election. What is the timing implication of when she needs to have this kind of resolved?
Well, at this point, so the board has the power to hold a qualification hearing at any time before the election. It could be the day before the election. At this point, the ballots have already gone to be printed. I'm not sure when those are coming back. So
Yeah,
there
it's
are
already there.
procedures if someone is disqualified after the ballots are printed. So I think those procedures are going to take effect whether you have the hearing this week, next week, or the following. But I mean, obviously, advanced voting, I can't remember what date that is.
That shit was funny.
And the Uokava ballots. So
This is embarrassing.
there is a chance the further you put it out that if someone is disqualified, that some of those absentee ballots may have already gone out, or some of the Uokava ballots have already gone out, and those votes would not count. So that is one risk.
She already
even though
messing
you
up
have the
Georgia
authority to
elections.
wait,
Already.
all the way up until the election, advanced voting, absentee, all of that. Won't have the notices if you do decide that she's not qualified.
Any other questions? At this meeting, though, we should determine first a motion with regard to continuing the hearing, because it's set for today. So we need a motion for that.
I'd like to make a motion that we continue this hearing based on not having enough information and Ms. Henyard saying that she doesn't have enough notice. I'd like to make, the motion is to have a special meeting next Thursday at 11.
Well,
And-
first, let's do the motion to continue, for continuance,
Okay,
separate from a
motion
date.
to continue.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it's unanimous. And let's check to see, Ms. Adams has proposed next Thursday, but let me look at my
16th.
calendar.
I will be out of
Let me
town
look at my calendar.
Thursday, Friday,
Okay.
so, and Wednesday is gonna be tough, because I have doctor appointments.
It's funny that you all are bending over backwards for her, and she
What's
didn't
your
even have the
availability?
time and like to make it work to get there.
Okay.
One person versus 5 people. Like, it would make
To
sense.
find out mine as well.
And I'll remind everyone that Wednesday is a state election board meeting.
Crazy. This is craziness.
I have to check mine too. Just a second. Let's check, take a minute to check our calendars. I have to get my.
This is embarrassing because this is how she's starting off her foray into Georgia politics with this kind of shenanigans. This is embarrassing. I'm sorry. I came into this thinking that they were going to boot her out of there. Like, pew, they're going to boot her out of here. Now I think they're trying their best to get the woman on. I feel like they're making every attempt possible to make her.
Saturday, actually.
This is insane. This is insane. They did all this about
Do that.
voter integrity, all this about elections and making sure they're using the right locations and all this stuff. But then you let some doggone carpetbagger get on the ballot. And she's already on the ballot, by the way. I don't know. I wouldn't. Just to even be elected, even to be considered, to me, is still giving her.
Anyone have any objection to Monday, the 20th at 11? What about you, Attorney Pashuta?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, so can we get a motion for Monday, April 20th at 11 a.m. to have the special called meeting for candidate Tiffany Henyard?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we continue this meeting and meet on Monday, April 20th at 11 a.m. at the Elections Hub for candidate Tiffany Henyard.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it's unanimous. And we'll make sure that it goes out both, and hopefully by today, mail and email and a personal call, because if she could to personally call and to let her also know, but document all those 3 ways. Okay? I don't have any other matters that I'm aware of. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion y'all
And I
adjourn.
do have, if I can take a personal privilege, just have one comment.
Ooh,
I would like to vocalize my disappointment in the rhetoric around having elections at the Islamic Center,
girl, bye.
Cultural Center. I think it shows.
Girl, bye. I don't even care what you're saying. You are literally voting against your best interest. Goodbye. I don't care what you're talking about. No, I'm sorry. I just want to see if that other lady talks about why she doesn't think that this should be a case. I'm sorry. The cultural center is not appropriate. And there's good reason why. You're going to sit there and argue for your own worst interest.
I second that sentiment. Thank you.
I don't care. Either y'all.
And everyone's heard what I had to say about it as well. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
I motions.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Because I ain't do nothing. Okay. That's embarrassing. For the life of me, I do not understand why these people are doing all of this lyrical gymnastics to allow her to be on the ballot at all. Now, to Melinda's point right here, I don't think that she's going to get a vote. I don't think she's going to get elected. but that's not the problem. The problem is the fact that she's able to run. She shouldn't be able to run. She's not qualified. She doesn't live here in Georgia, hasn't lived here in Georgia long enough. And I don't think that, from the way I understood it, you can just go through the process and nominate yourself to run in this particular office under a particular party candidate. It's not like the party said, we approve of you. It's like, I'm running as a libertarian. I'm running as a Democrat. I qualify because I've done these things. I've lived here a year. Here's my electric bill. I got driver's license. I'm registered to vote. Bada boom. And I just register as that. So I still don't think that that's, I don't think that's right by a mile. And I don't think that she's going to get elected. The problem is that she is going to be on the ballot, and that makes it look like she's a valid individual. So next time she comes up, people have already kind of got in their mind that she's run before. So she must have been valid then. So she must be valid now. That's the problem. All right, what do we got? Yeah, she's just wasting time. And then again, like, she's gonna waste time. They're gonna end up allowing her to, they're gonna still let her be on the ballot because she's already on the ballot. Let me pull that up so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Like, she's already on the ballot, so there's no reason to think otherwise. Okay. Clear this out. I got one screen today, y'all. Y'all praying for your boy, right? I only got one screen today. Bada boom. Okay, here's a sample ballot from that they're going to be using. So when you go here, you got a couple options: general, primary, Democrat, nonpartisan, Republican. We're going to click on Republican because that's what she's allegedly running as. Let's zoom in a little bit, Jason. All right, we're going to scroll down. She's running as 5th district. Oh, wait, I missed it. Okay. I did miss it. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Okay. Y'all cannot see it. Hold on one second. You don't see what I'm messing the screen up. Hold on one second. Pull this back in. Okay. Bang. Okay, now gotcha. Okay. So now we're going under District 5 representative, right? Okay, there it is right there. Okay. So here's the ballot. Let's just, so you can see here, Fulton County elections, May 19th, 2026. So it's just about a month away. So we're not talking about, we don't have a whole bunch of time, right? All right, let me move myself out of here so y'all can see this whole ballot. Like, she's already on the ballot. That's crazy word. All right, so I'm gonna scroll down here because she's running for District 5 position. So I go right here, for County Commissioner, District 5, and we see right here, her name is already on the ballot. So what's the purpose? Like, what's the purpose? Y'all have already presumed that she's qualified to run. That's crazy word. Now, again, I don't suppose that she's going to win in Fulton County. I just don't believe that to be the case. I don't think Fulton County is that crazy. However, I didn't think that we were going to watch these people over here bending over backwards to argue for her either. It's crazy work. They don't know her intent. We don't know her platform, anything of that nature. So people are going to cast the vote. I'm sad to say. They're going to be Republicans who they're going to be like, I don't have anybody else to vote for. They're going to vote for this person. Even though this person is not qualified, maybe they don't know much about her. Maybe they're like, this is the only option we got and whatnot. That's the part I don't like. That's it. Because it just costs too much money to reprint it. That's basically what they're saying. Because you know good and well they're not going to change it. If they throw her out on her hind parts on the 20th, it still ain't going to matter. They're going to still let her run because they already printed these ballots. They're not going to do anything different. Do they know? I don't know. That's another great question. She is being investigated by the FBI, which makes no sense that it's taken this long. But this is Marvin Arrington's seat. Yes, you're correct. This is the seat that Marvin Arrington holds, but he's running for the commissioner that commission chair position. So he has to get out of that position. So that's why that seat is up. So yeah, I don't know, man. I was very disappointed in that. I really truly did not think that they would do that much shenanigans in order to get to this place. I have no idea. But let me also point this out. I do think it's interesting. I don't know if you saw the optics, but the only person that was pushing against Tiffany Henyard was a woman of less melanin. The other ones that were willing to give her all that duck and cover, well, we sent the email wrong and she didn't know, she didn't have enough time, needs childcare, were all Black women. I think that's problematic. I think that's really, somebody should have a conversation about that. Like, that did not look good. Especially on the heels of them talking about all of this stuff that they're doing to ensure the vote and make sure the election is safe and secure. But then you have a Yahoo on here who's not even a Georgia resident. Y'all fighting tooth and nail. Oh yeah. She didn't get the email. She didn't know. She didn't know. You're kidding me. She wants to be commissioner, but she doesn't take the time to look into. I'm sorry. You should know that. Why is that not your main focus? And what job do you have? That would have been my question. What job do you have? I'm listening. You mean tell me you couldn't have listened in on this meeting? Okay. That's why you're getting kicked out. Yeah, this is some wild stuff. I don't think Butch calls a sorority. I don't think she pledged. Yeah, I'm sorry. She should still have to be held accountable, though. Okay, fine. You don't come. That's fine. We're still going to kick you off the ballot. We got some whiteout. We're going to white out all these ballots today. White your name out. Because you're not going to win. That's the thing. You're not going to win. So what are we doing? What are we really doing? Here, let me pull this in. Maybe let's look at the Democrat candidate as well. I could have did that as well. Let me bring that in. All right, so here's the Democrat candidates. And this is what I'm saying. I don't think this is fair. And again, I'm not pro-Democrat, but I just don't think that's fair that these people need to, man, a lot of people running for governor. I didn't realize that. District 5, we said, right? District 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, look at, there are 4 people. And like I said, they're all women. I hope y'all can see that. Okay, these are the women that are running as Democrats for that position. So there's going to be a runoff. So one of these women is going to win, okay? And then they're going to have to run against Tiffany Henyard because she's going to win the Republican because she is a primary. And so in the general election in November, she's going to have, this woman who's running as a Democrat is going to have to sit there and campaign against Tiffany Henyard for what? For what reason? It's wasting time and resources. For what reason? That's crazy work. Yeah, this is a crazy work. And being the fact that everybody knows about her here. I mean, she was on the news here, like mainstream news, not just bloggers and internet content creators. She was on the news. So why in the world are they allowing her to run? And pretending like they don't know that this is part of her shenanigans. That's wild work, man. Absolutely insane. I have no idea why this is even being allowed. It's embarrassing that's being allowed, for real. So my point is that whoever it is that runs here is going to have to sit there. I would love for them to debate. I don't think they do. It's not mandatory, I don't think. I don't think it's mandatory. But so Tiffany's going to win the Republican primary because she's the only one running. If 10 people vote for her, that's enough. I mean, that's it. If 10 people vote and the rest of people say, I don't know who this person is, and they skip it, she's going to win by default because she got 10 votes and she's running against nobody. She was unchallenged. So then somebody over here, one of these Democrat people, women, is going to win. And so for the rest of the summer into the fall, this woman is going to have to campaign against Tiffany Henyard for what reason? For what reason? Just to waste time and resources. I think this is, yeah. It sullens the Republican sheet. We can say that as well. I think it validates Tiffany Henyard, which is definitely not something you want. It validates her. It sullens the Republican name and brand. Like, oh, y'all ran Tiffany Henyard. So you got that problem. And there's nothing beneficial. And then, of course, Fulton County looks crazy for running her. Like, wait, Fulton County, you should have said no. You should have said no. And I do think it's funny because optically wise, you know good and well, those are not Republican board members that are sitting there fighting to have Tiffany Henyard on the board. Oh, somebody keeps asking about the DWC. There's actually a video. Thank you so much for asking. DWC channel, this is the JWhit Podcast. It's not DWC any longer. There's actually a video about why I changed the name. And if one of the mods could drop it in there, we'll do that as well. But back to the point, I don't think there's any good valid reason for anyone to sit here and argue about why Tiffany Henyard should be allowed to run. There's no reason. Like, what is the benefit? Help me understand what the benefit. Help me. What is the benefit of that? All right. Let me find this video real quick. Oh, I gotta find that video. Sorry about that. See, I got off task. I got off task and then I don't see it. I'll find it in a second. Okay. So, all right. So, answer your question. Long story short, we thought this was going to be over. We thought it was going to be a quick slam dunk. They were going to get in here. They're going to say, Tiffany, you don't belong here. Get out of here. Pew, kick her out. No, they're going to be back. They're going to be back on. They're going to be back on the 20th of April. By the way, I've got a guest coming that day. Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll work it out. So we will. We'll make sure we find it. But anyway, anyways, for what reason? I mean, you already got her on the ballot, so we already know you're not going to take her off the ballot. You're not going to get some industrial whiteout and start whiting out her name. Just give it up. We already know what's going to happen. You're going to say she can run. She's going to win. She's going to run against whoever the Democrat primary winner is, and that's going to be the shenanigans for the rest of the summer. For what reason? I have no idea. I have no idea why. This is so embarrassing. And they just were talking about voter rolls and all this integrity stuff and blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, by the way, we're going to let this carpetbagger in and run. Yeah, I mean, she's going to be put on the board in a situation. It is embarrassing. And people are going to see it. And this is going to be, I hate to say it, man, this is going to make Georgia look so much worse, especially if you paid attention in the beginning. They said, you come to Fulton County because you want to come to Fulton County to commit crime. I've heard that before. I live here in Cobb County, outside of Fulton County. I've heard that, but I don't believe it's like demonstrably true. But y'all are sitting here arguing for allowing this woman to run, and she should not be running, and that's crazy work. That's just some crazy work, y'all. Right. That's exactly what she's gonna say. I told you she's on the ballot. She's already on the ballot. So it really doesn't, even what they had decided today, even if they had decided today that she was inappropriate and we can't let her be here, and we're going, she would still be on the ballot. And you see what they went through to make changes and adjustments to the voting location, what they're gonna do about the ballot. They'll still leave her on the ballot because they ain't gonna reprint those things. And they're gonna be like, those votes were nullified or they didn't matter. We gave somebody a slip of paper, said don't vote for Tiffany Henyard, and then they're gonna get sued for that. I mean, you just can't win. They should have fixed this today. They should have said no more, no. Yep. Oh, I don't. Nah. She gonna come up with a reason not to show up on the 20th. She's already on the ballot. What would be the purpose of why does she have to fight now? Like, okay, she's on the ballot. People are gonna vote for her. Well, I'm sorry. She already knew she was gonna lose. You're not gonna win. A Republican's not gonna win in Fulton County. Give that up. So she knows she wasn't gonna win. She's on the ballot. They're not gonna kick her off because then what's gonna be the optics that they kick the only Republican off the ballot. She's there. She doesn't have to come. She doesn't have to come. If she show, I'm gonna be here. Don't worry. I will tap in. I'll actually be in town that day. Hold on, double check. I will be at Whitaker Park on the 20th. Oh, I do have a guest coming in that day. We'll be done by then. So yeah. So we'll be done with my guest on the 20th by the time. But any pace, she's already on the ballot. She's run as a Republican, unchallenged. They don't want the optic of kicking the only Republican off the ballot. Why would she need to come? Why? That's a question I think we need to ask. What would be the benefit? Why would she need to come and argue it if y'all already got her on the ballot? Yeah, and how many times did she not show up in court when she was threatening to go to jail in Dalton? How many times did she not show up then? Yeah, the idea that she's going to show up here, she's not showing up. She's not. She's just not. No reason she didn't show today was because she didn't give notice. Now they're going to make sure she gets notice. Don't you think they're expecting her? We saw the lyrical gymnastics that they were doing. Now, in a reasonable world, I would have been there. I would have been there today. Okay, I would have made things move around. I would have said, "Hey, somebody pick up my kid," whatever like that. I got to be over here. I would have been there. Even if I found out last night, I would have found a way to get there today. That's what I would have done. But given the fact that I don't think that she has any intention of being a honest dealer, come on, look, past behaviors can project future progress, right? Or however it's said. What would be your reason for believing that? Like, what would be your evidence to say, like most of my friends know, if Jason is late somewhere, he doesn't want to be there. I'm always going to be early somewhere. If I can be there, if I want to be there, I'm going to be there early. You say be there at 2, you're going to see me at 1:45, right? If you don't see me at 1:45, 1:58, Jason don't want to be here. Now, he might still roll up in here at 1:59, but he really don't want to be here. All my friends know that. They've known this for 30 plus years. So they know that about me. So what I've done in the past is very indicative of what I'm going to do in the future. Now, because I've gotten older, I might show up some places late and people are like, oh, whatever, Jason got here at normal time, like normal people time. But you get my point. Now, because of my past behavior, people know something that they can expect from me. So if we look at Tiffany's past behavior when she's gone to court, how many times has she been in court? She's been sued more times than people going to Starbucks this month, right? So because of that and the behavior that she's shown there, why would we expect her to do something different? She's already on the ballot. That's the thing. Like if they were still printing the ballots and she wasn't already on there, then maybe it would make some sense. Okay, it's clearly a stall tactic. She knew about it. I'm sorry. We knew about it. We knew about it last week. We made adjustments. I'm not even at home, but I made an adjustment to be here. I was out walking from the hotel to the grocery store. I looked at my clock. I said, it is 7:05. And I started walking a whole lot faster because I knew I had to get back here in time to get this thing started. And still got here on time. Still got here on time. You get my point. So I got here. We got here. Like, why couldn't she not be here? She knew about it. I'm sorry. There's no way you can't tell me she didn't know about it back. What was that last week? What was it? The first or the second, whatever day that was. I'm sorry. You're not going to convince me she didn't know about that. I mean, it was all over the news. I did a newscast. I did a live stream of it, and it was just the news talking about it here in Atlanta. You can't tell me she didn't know about it. She knew about it. For crying out loud, that was at her house, and her boyfriend was talking through the ring cam. She knew about it. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, if legislature, the elected people were being honest. They're like, hold on. The newsman went to your house and brought this up to you. How did you not know about it now? You might need to come up in here and tell us about this. But again, she's already on the ballot, so it don't even matter. She doesn't need to come. She's not going to come on the 20th. Right. She heard about it. And I'm sorry, her kid is like in 4th grade. They're on spring break right now. Her boyfriend don't work. What do you mean you couldn't have gone? It makes no sense. We're gonna start a bet. We're gonna start. I don't know. On the 20th, maybe I'll drop a T-shirt that said, I'll drop a T-shirt. It'll be 50% off if Tiffany shows up or something. I don't know, but like, I don't think there's any reason for her to come. Yeah, they work for themselves. And again, I went to the little podunk fashion store, clothing store. It is not somewhere they are not getting beat down at the door. They're not piles and piles of people outside the door. She's running for District 5. She's running for Marvin Arrington's position. Shout out to Miss Furlow Speaks. Good to see you, friend. Okay. All right. We'll do gifted memberships. If Tiffany shows up on the 20th, I'll drop some gifted memberships. There we go. She ain't coming. What's the reason? Oh, how about this one? In the chat, tell me why do you think she would realistically come? I've already told you why I don't think she would realistically come. I would like for you, if you don't mind, I have a video. I have a video of me going to the store. It was closed on a Saturday, prime time. I showed you where it's located, how you get there. It's not on the beaten path. You got to go out of your way to look for. You got to know where it is. So they're not making Walmart money. I have to say like that. They're not bringing in tons of bucks. So okay. So I said, why would she come? And so this person said, lack of integrity. Well, that's why she wouldn't come. This rascal right here, President Not Perfect, said to show off her fit. Stop it. I don't think she would come. I didn't even think she would show up today. See, that's what I'm saying. I was hoping against hope. But then I forgot. I was like, who are we talking about? We're talking about Tiffany Henyard. The only reason she will show up is because cameras are there. Well, cameras are there. See, she has no policies. She's not running on any principles. She hasn't gone out campaigning on a platform of doing this, that, and a third, helping out in this way. I can use my expertise over here. They have this gap and I can help be a resource in this regard. You're not even Georgian, for crying out loud. You still get lost on Peachtree Street. We got 38 Peachtree Streets and you get lost on them. Like, man, what are you doing? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, I got you. Thank you, friend. Yeah, she showed up. If she showed up, she will incriminate herself on a federal, right? And she's still under federal investigation, y'all. But she gonna show up she gonna run here in Georgia. Like, what is the benefit of that? Like, for real though, what's the benefit of her running here in Georgia? Nothing. She is just running out here to be a clown. She's running on name only because she's a super mayor. I don't think you can even run in hold positions like that here in Georgia. I don't think you can hold 2 positions like in those regard. I don't know exactly. I'm trying to think what would be a position at commissioner mayor, but you couldn't be a commissioner and a mayor. I don't know. Hey, what's going on, Otto Smith? What's going on? Shout out. They made it back from Puerto Rico. Good. Glad you're back. Good to have you. I think it's, I'm trying to say infamy. But see, that's my point. Like, allowing her to run gives her notoriety, gives her validity. If they kicked her off and said, no, you don't meet the qualifications, goodbye, that would be much better than saying, well, but she's already on the ballot. But now saying, allowing her to run is giving her a little bit of validity. I'm currently in, don't tell nobody, I'm in a very, very leftist state. But I will tell you about it though. I'm a little bit impressed with this leftist state. Got a lot of Teslas out here though. I'm surprised. Like, Gary, hey, them little things will sneak up on you and run you over. Okay, but I am in San Diego, California. Make that make sense, man. That's what's wild to me. Elected in Illinois and running in Georgia. It's crazy work. Uh, I've not trimmed my beard. My beard is crazy. I did not go to the barber on my way out. And my beard I look like John the Baptist. Here, I'm gonna go incognito. There we go, hide it. Yeah, I look like John the Baptist right now. I'm looking kind of wild. I'm looking kind of wild. Were you? No way. No way. No, you weren't. Where were you? You didn't come to SBC? So if y'all just jumped in, we were watching, we thought we were going to hear Tiffany Henyard explain why she should not be disqualified for running as a Republican commissioner here in Georgia. Much to our surprise, she did not show up. Not only did she not show up, they allowed and said that basically, let me put that link back in here. No, that's not the link. Sorry. I dropped the wrong link. That was the wrong link. You get a right link. Here is the right link. All right, so that was the wrong link. Here is the correct link right here. Bada boom, bada bing. There you go. Okay, so not only did they allow forbearance, they said, well, we emailed her, but we might have had the wrong email address. I'm sorry. You see, in Georgia, you can just go through the process and go and apply to be a candidate in a position. And you just have to prove that you've been here a year, you're a Georgia resident, you're registered to vote, and you pick your party. So there's not like an approval process per se. So I could run as a libertarian. I mean, I've been there long enough. I could just run as a libertarian or an independent and such of that nature. So that's how she got in. And I guess it's on the party to qualify and say whether or not they really truly qualified. But I don't fully understand, because it seems like everybody now is scrambling and scraping and trying to figure out how did she get on the ballot, when I'm like, y'all let her on the ballot. So that's the only thing. I fully don't know. I need to know more about this, because it doesn't make sense to me at all. It is extremely weird. Like, because it basically sounds to me, I could go in and say, hey, ballot people, I want to run for commissioner number 5. See, the position is open. I want to run. I've been in Georgia here for 30 years. Here's my Georgia driver's license. I've been registered to vote forever. Here's my address. You can see I live here. Here's a light bill. Bada boom. Okay, I'm qualified. Thank you so much. And now I'm running. That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound more complex than that. I don't know this question. To me, it would seem like I don't live in Fulton County though. I live in Cobb County, and so I would not. And I live far away from the line, so I don't even live like, oh, I'm across the street, kind of. I can't even get that. Like I live far away from Fulton County, so I would definitely not be able to run. But back to my point, wait, right here. To me personally, I think Republicans now, because a lot of people are like leaving the Democrat Party and becoming Republicans. Every one of them should be primaried. It doesn't matter. If you are going to be the Republican candidate for dog walking, I need you to be primaried. We need to hear you express yourself as a quote unquote conservative, GOP, Republican, whatever term you need. That needs to happen. Like, you can't just say, hey, I'm going to run for chief recycling under the Republican banner. Nope. We need to hear, nope. I need you to run as a primary. Every one of them need to run as a primary. before. No, don't you? The fact that Tiffany, let me pull that back. Let me pull that ballot back up. Okay, I think I did. I think I got this right. Y'all pray. Okay, there it is. Okay, the fact. Oh, but that's the wrong one though, Jason. Here you go. Bang, we got it. Woo, editor Jason, he's killing it. I'm gonna pray for that brother. All right, the fact that Tiffany Henyard is running unchallenged to me is the problem. There should be, I don't care. It could be the secretary. I don't care. Somebody needs to be running against her. She has to be primaried. There should be no way that you allow somebody that has come in and represent the Republican Party, or even, look, I'll even be fair, even the Democrat Party. You shouldn't let somebody just come in and say, I'm running as a Democrat unchallenged. That's crazy work. That's just crazy work. So there should be no way that this was allowed, in my opinion. Y'all don't want me to run for president. I got to look. My beard is too scraggly. Oh, no problem, Ms. Furlow. No problem at all. Right. And again, I understand. Look, I do understand that people realize that there are certain policies that they cannot support within the Democrat Party. That's fine. I got no problem with that. But if you come over here, we still need to check your papers. Who your people, right? Who sent you? We just like, oh, we're so happy that you left the Democrat Party. Come on over here. How do you know that this? What is Tiffany Henyard's policies? What does she believe about the county commission? Now, keep in mind, the county commission is in charge of some multi-billion-dollar budget, multi-billion with a B budget. It's huge. And now I'm not saying that she's going to be doing a whole bunch of shenanigans with that money, but think about what she did with the shenanigans with the small budget in Dalton and Thornton Township, and having access to that kind of money. It doesn't need to happen. It doesn't need to happen. That's just my little 2 cents. Furlow said, I saved the link this time. Ain't no problem. No, it's just, my beard is doing a whole bunch. This is doing a whole bunch. I did not brush it out before I got on. Y'all can talk about me. That's okay. I'll accept it. I deserve it. There's a lot of shenanigans, man. There's definitely a lot of room in the Fulton County Commission for shenanigans and hijinks. And it doesn't have to be direct, like I'm reaching your pocket, stealing money out. But I mean, there could be a lot of shenanigans. So that's my only point. I just don't understand. So watching this, 40,000 a month purchase. And oh, you're talking about the Amazon purchases. Yeah, that was crazy work. That was crazy. And nobody knew where it came from. And nobody, even to this day, they've ever figured out what happened, how that money was wasted like that. I mean, they know that it was probably spent on the ice rink, but nobody knows like the fullness of it to this day. That's crazy work. So anybody that jumped in, we were watching the hearing on whether or not Tiffany Henyard was qualified to run as a Republican commission, District 5 commission chair here in Atlanta, Fulton County, respectfully. Because they allegedly didn't give her fair enough notice, she did not come. And they did a lot. You have to go back and watch it. They did a lot of lyrical gymnastics to make that make sense about why she was not there. Yeah. I'm not going to go and say that they weren't intelligent as much as, to me, they seemed very willing to make this thing work. When again, I got on this here internet thinking they was going to be like, ping, goodbye, Tiffany. I just knew that was going to happen. I'm like, oh man, they about to shut this thing down. They're going to put this thing to bed, to rest. No, you can't run. They sitting here coming up with every reason under the sun to give. And once I saw she was on the ballot, it was over. Once I saw the ballot, it was a wrap. I said, oh, they're not going to kick her off. When I saw that she was on the ballot, I said, oh, they don't even care. It doesn't matter. There's no reason for them to even have this hearing. That's why I don't think she's going to come on the 20th. She's going to be like, I don't need to come. I'm out campaigning. I guarantee. She's going to say I'm out campaigning. Because the election is on the 19th of May. What they gonna do on the 20th? What they gonna really do? I think that's what I said. Like, I'm like, I knew about it. And it's been all over the news here in Atlanta. So please don't make it sound like it was only on the Shade Room or the Joe Budden podcast. Like, no, it's been all over the news. Everybody knew about this. Everybody knew about it. There were so many podcasts that streamed last week's meeting or the first meeting they had. There's no reason for you to be like, oh, I didn't know. But even in that, though, even in that, I said it before, if I wanted to run for office and I thought that I had a valid case to run for office and y'all was trying to boot me out of office, I'm going to be there to tell y'all you can't boot me off. Like, I'm going to move heaven and earth. I'm going to, somebody watch my kid, somebody watch the store or whatever. And I'm going to be there because I need to make my case heard. Not, I'm just not going to be there and y'all figure it out. Tell me when the next time. That's how you know that they're not going to do anything. Because that should have been a slap in the face. They should have been like, wait, what? You want to represent us and you don't even have you don't even have the respect to come and talk about why you should be able to run? Girl, bye. Goodbye. What's she gonna do? Sue? She got to get the case. That's a case that she would have to initiate. So she'd have to get a lawyer to do that. Once y'all let her get in, then y'all gonna have to start funding that. And paying the fight against yourselves. That's crazy work. Insane. All right, what we got here? Her cat had puppies. It's crazy. I'm telling you right now, if she comes on the 20th, I'm gonna have to drop some free memberships or something. I'm telling you, she's not coming on the 20th. For what? Nobody's told me why she should come. I already told y'all why she's not going to come. I need you to explain to me why she should come. There's no reason. She's already on the ballot. All she needs is 10 votes. It's a wrap. 10 Republicans will be like, they're going to go straight party card. Party line voting. Republican. I ain't never heard this name before, but she's a Republican. There you go. And she going to get the votes. And then she going to win the Republican nomination. She going to run against whoever wins in the Democrats. Why should she come? Even if she gets disqualified, they're not going to unqualify her. Even if she doesn't show up on the 20th, and they say, well, you know what? She's disqualified. She's already on the ballot. It's too late. They're not going to go around here and redact her name off of it. Because they could have did that today. I don't think if they had done it today and said, you know what, we're going to take her name off until further notice. Now that might have moved me. I might have been like, okay, see what you're doing over there. I might have believed that, but they didn't even do that, Susie. I think that would have moved the needle, in my opinion. They don't have to have a representative from both parties, but she has said that she is a representative from a Republican. See, that's the thing. So I think the only problem is they don't want to get into the problem of the Democrats kicked the Republican off of the ballot. That's what I think but they allowed Tiffany Henyard to do that. They should never allow her to even qualify. When they saw her name and they knew that there's a question, they should have put a stop to it and said, no, stop printing, get her name off until further notice. That's what they should have done. But now it's too far. The cow's out of the barn and they're too far away, in my opinion. Okay, here's a question I want to think about. She went there very quickly. Do you think that her family and friends are there? Or no, she only has her boyfriend. Her friends and her family still live in Illinois. She came here because she was scoping out a place well before she lost that election in Dalton. Don't quote me on this, but she was seen here in Georgia right before the election in Dalton, right before. Somebody sent me a picture, and it was on different blogs or whatnot that she was here in Georgia, and I was like, that's really weird. And then she was probably scoping out a place then. That's how she ended up signing a lease that was like right in line with when she lost that election in Dalton. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. All right, what we got here? A lot of good conversation back and forth. What we got? She saw another money stealing place. I don't think it's that bad. Like where she has like check writing abilities, you can't do that here. That stuff that the wicked she was doing, leasing vehicles and all that kind of stuff like that. But there's going to be a lot of money wasting, that's for sure, because Fulton County Commission is known for it. But I just don't think I don't think the problem is not that she would get on the Fulton County Commission. The problem is that her running for the position validates her as a real candidate because she's going to lose. There's no reason to believe that she's not going to win. But let me just be honest, okay? I just saw some stuff today that took your boy back. Like, whoa, hold on, let me reevaluate that. So normally, I would say that there's no way she's going to win. I don't think she's going to win. But for the sake of argument, let's just say this: she's not going to win. But it validates her, though. It says that all that shenanigans that was happening, everything that y'all know about Tiffany Henyard, she can come down here and we can let her run. That's problematic. So the idea that Atlanta's corrupt, the idea that you come to Fulton County when you want to commit a crime, how are you fixing that when you just allowed somebody that you all reported as the worst mayor in America? The Atlanta News reported that. They ran that article, but then y'all gonna go ahead and let her come down here and run with carpet bag and everything. That's crazy work. What we got here? I didn't see Victor Hill. Who's Victor Hill? Victor Hill on the ballot. Is he on the independent? I mean, there's 3 ballots on that sheet. There's independent, there's Democrat, nonpartisan, and Republican. I don't know who Victor Hill is. I'm just going to check real quick. Yeah, I don't see it. But one of the things also they mentioned is that the nonpartisan ballot is different than the Republican and Democrat ballots. So like they don't have certain positions. So they're only voting for just like nonpartisan roles. So if there's a Democrat, Republican, is there a Democrat running for Senate? Like for example, John Ossoff is running for Senate as a Democrat. On the partisan ballot, you don't even have a candidate because you're not voting for that person, if that makes sense. So Victor Hill is let me see real quick. Victor Hill. Yeah, I don't see who Victor Hill is. Miss Furlow speaks, but Clayton County ex-sheriff, he got arrested violating citizens' rights. Oh my gosh. This town needs an enema. So yeah, that's a good question too. I wasn't 100% certain if they were going to do it only for, like, this is the only reason we're here is for Tiffany Henyard. So to answer your question, Denise, I'm hoping it is, but I don't know. And I got a feeling I'm telling you, I don't think she's going to come. What's the purpose of her coming? Shoot, it's down I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing. I could go there for lunch. I go downtown and say what's up to Fonnie. What's up, Fonnie? I don't know. Maybe, you know what? I might look into that. I could go down there. I just got to be out of it in time to go pick up President Firstborn, Chief Executive Secondborn, I'm sorry, from school. All right, good conversation going on, chat. I always appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, that story is crazy. That story is crazy. The 20th. The only problem is, like I said, I have an interview that morning. I guess when we get done, I could just like hightail it on down there. I mean, it's not the craziest thing I've done. Let me think about it. because it's not the craziest thing I've done. Trust me, I've done crazier things. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. Hey, what's going on there, friend? Not really on vacation. I'm out here in San Diego, checking it out. Checking out San Diego. It's kind of wild. We had a good time yesterday. And we yeah, I did go. I went down there for the YSL trial twice. Yep. And it actually would be probably easier to get here to the Fulton County Commission because it's not that dramatic. So that actually might, I mean, don't tempt me now. Don't tempt me. I am but I'll keep you posted on that one. Like I said, it's just figuring out, okay, when I get done with our guests, it's logging off and hitting the road. I mean, that's not hard. We'll see. We'll see for sure. Thank you all so much, everybody. I appreciate it. Okay, so just in case you're wondering, we there was no conclusion with Tiffany Henyard running for Fulton County District 5 Commissioner position because she didn't know enough. She wasn't notified with enough time. They decided to have another meeting on the 20th. I don't think that she really needs to come. I've already dropped it in the link in the chat, and I'll put it in the description as well. But she's already on the provisional, on the ballot already. So they're not going to go back and reprint it. They're not going to, go and have a big redaction party to redact her. So what's the purpose? So she's going to probably be able to run without any problem. I don't think there's any reason for her to show up next on the 20th. Truth be told, I see no reason. Like, why? She's already on the ballot. She's already been, I mean, you tacitly have given her a hearty approval to run. And, shame on the Republican Party. I think moving forward, when these new, not all, new Republicans are carpetbaggers. And I'll say the same thing for Democrats. If somebody becomes a Democrat and they're running, and this is their first time running, and they're running in a non-contested position, they have to be primaried. You have to hear more about them before people vote on them, because people are just going to vote on Tiffany Henyard because they're just going down, party line down the road. So that's that. So we did not get any closure on that. So she's supposed to come on the 20th. They're going to email her, snail mail her. Apparently, knowing this information was not enough for her. So we went to some of these places yesterday. We went to San Juan Capistrano yesterday. I believe that's where we were. So anyway, so long story short, so that's that. I don't know what's going to happen, and so we'll be back on the 20th. So either I'll be here, at Whitaker Park, or who knows, maybe I'll be down there. Maybe I will. We'll see one way or another. Yeah, it's too late. It's too late for the Republicans to run. You had to qualify. Was it 60 days? Whenever the news broke that Tiffany Henyard was running, was the last day to qualify for this election. Because even in that, like, they already got the ballots done. So if they could add me, JWhit, to the ballot to run against Tiffany, then they could take Tiffany off the ballot. They already told you in the thing that they weren't going to take her off. In the video, they told you they weren't going to take her off. So, and I don't think they're really going to make another cell in a line to add JWhit as a competition to her. So, or anybody else. I'm just using me as being facetious. So yeah, I don't see any reason why not. I mean, she's going to be on that ballot. There's no reason. And I don't think there's any reason for her to show up on the 20th. But either way, I will go down there or I will just live stream it, but maybe I will go down there. That might be fun. If I can move my interview, maybe we'll go down there and have a little breakfast or something. Have a little lunch down there. Say what's up to Fonnie. See if Marvin Arrington's there. That kind of stuff like that. That'll be fun. Do public comment. That would be crazy if I did public comment. Wait, I could go down there. I'm just looking now. Now you got me really thinking about this. Like, this is nowhere. This is right there across the street from Fulton County Courthouse. So it's nowhere. I could go straight down there. All right, let me get my mind wrapped around it. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying why she would run. Because again, like no, now could Fulton County be changed? Sure. Did you hear some of those public comments? Some of those public comments were extremely red. Public comments about voter safety and such of that nature, vote safety and all that integrity. So those are some very red comments. Fulton County is still blue, but you get my point though, right? So we'll definitely be praying for them for sure. But all right, my good people, that is it. All right, I do have a couple of videos dropping tonight. We are I'm just telling you right now, I am in contact with a crowd favorite here out in San Diego. And he and I, there's a hint right there, he and I are going to we're going to probably do some recording. I realize that a lot of these podcast studios aren't set up for you to do live streaming in. So like I have my studio at home is set up to do live streaming. So, or we might just pull our phones out and do it. I don't know. But we're supposed to be going to dinner tonight and meet him, and we'll go to dinner and nail down. It'll either be tomorrow, Friday, or Saturday. We have already planned for Saturday, but if we can do something Friday and Saturday, it'd be great. So it'll either be a recording. If we can find a place that does live streaming, I'll keep you posted. So I don't know if it's really qualifies as a vacation. My wife is at a conference, and so I just decided to come. Me and Chief Executive Second Born. So I will keep you posted as soon as we get to dinner tonight. Maybe I'll send some more hints out so y'all can guess who it is. I will say this and give you a hint. It is an audience favorite, and they live in San Diego, California. And it's a he. So y'all, it's not going to be hard. I'm pretty sure you'll probably figure it out real quick. So before I even start dropping more hints, I'm sure you all will probably figure it out. But yeah, so that's that. I want to say thank you all so much for tapping in with us. Thank you to everybody who's been watching the videos and liking and doing all that kind of great YouTube stuff. It really does go really far. And I'm glad y'all are enjoying it. So I will keep you abreast for the 20th of April. It will either I will go there. Will be streaming it. That we know of. B will be me going there because they won't allow me to stream on there. So that'll be that little back and forth. So just give you that hint. Oh, that's hilarious. Ruslan is crazy. Isn't Ruslan in LA though? It'll be on here on YouTube. We'll be here on YouTube. I thought Ruslan was in LA. Don't quote me on that. I haven't kept up with him in so long. But I thought he was in LA. If he's in San Diego, that'd be crazy. But I should have did some more due diligence because there's some other people I think they're out in this area. I just don't keep up with like California like that. So I was I should have did a little bit more due diligence. Oh, Tinashe's actually in Canada. Is he really? I know somebody that knows him. I'll reach out and say, hey, can I run by and say what's up to him and see his studio? I know he has a great studio, I heard. Maybe I'll do that. That might be fun. Since my wife made me get a Metro pass. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here in the hotel. Go sleep. Anyway, So I don't know. That's a good one. Thank you. I did not know that. Now I know. All right, good people. Thank you so much for rocking with us. I'm going to figure out, and being the fact that the time is so weird, so we're 3 hours behind Georgia. So my mind is already, wrapped up that it's 1 o'clock or so. And no, but it's only like almost 10:45. That's crazy. So then we're gonna lose like 3 hours going back home. That's wild. That's the part that gets me. That's the part that gets me. So everybody, y'all have a fantastic rest of the day. I am going to see what these people are doing, and what they want to do. We already had breakfast. Like it seemed like breakfast 10 minutes ago, but we're supposed to go to dinner tonight with my guest. Y'all will figure it out. But I will see you all real soon, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Be blessed, and I'll see you real soon. Grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.